Hello everybody, this is Nicole Hines, and today I want to show you how to start a transaction in Remine and how to pull in our Office package. That'll have all the forms you need to get that transaction started. It should have everything really that you need to complete it except for special situations. Then you can always go and grab another form to bring in. Okay, but you'll find it a big benefit. From your LVR dashboard, click on Remine. That takes you to the Remine main program, which is called Remine Pro. And you're going to go over onto the left menu, and right under Remine Apps, you'll see the word Docs and a little plus sign. That's going to take us to Remine Docs. On this page, you could upload a single file, a document for whatever reason from here, or you can create a transaction. We're going to create a transaction. When you create your transaction, click first which side you're representing. In this case, I'm going to be representing the buyer side. The next thing I recommend you do is type in the MLS number of the property you're going to write an offer on. So I have that open here, and the MLS number I'm using is 234-7697. 234-7697. And the address will pop up in this blue box below. Click there to verify this is the property you're pulling up. Otherwise, it will not hold your information. If you'll notice, it named the transaction by the address of the property. I can go in here and add my buyer's last name if I so desire, and I put a / between the buyer's last name and the property address. I like my transactions named that way. You do whatever works for you. Legal name of all buyers. I'm going to name my buyers here, and I'm going to put in the legal name so that Remine Docs can do its thing. And it didn't hold, so let's try that again. Michael A. Hines, and see how it's in the blue box here? I have to click there to make it stay. And then we are going to also have Danielle signing. Here we go. Click her name, and now it stays. The program has brought in the name of the sellers and the listing agent information and the listing brokerage. So that is all I need to do. I am going to hit next. And at this point, I can choose to add a package if I'd like. You can either add all your own forms, which is much more tedious. So go over to Packages, click on Home Smart Encore, and click whichever package you desire to bring in. I am going to go with the buyer packet. I didn't use a buyer's brokerage agreement for this client, but that is an option. There is another packet here. Let's just fold this real quick. You have a buyer brokerage packet, a buyer packet, or a listing packet. So I am selecting the buyer packet, and it's going to show me, it opens up and it shows me all the documents that are in that buyer packet. I can remove, let's say I didn't have a HOA in this neighborhood that this home is in. I could delete the CIC disclosure and the purchaser's receipt, like uncheck those boxes so that it won't bring those two forms in. But I do in fact have an HOA where this property is located, so I want them. So now I'm going to hit on the next button, and Remine Docs is creating the transaction and bringing in these forms for us. Here are all the forms in the transaction. Now let's say I have a particularly unusual situation and I want to bring in another form. I can go over here to Forms, and I can click on LVR Forms, and here are all the forms. So I could choose, let's say for some reason I want to use the Beltway disclosure because this house is near the Beltway. I'm afraid it might be a problem for that buyer in the future, and I want to make sure they're aware of it so that I'm not held liable. So maybe I'm going to bring in the Beltway disclosure here. And you would go to next. Upload is just for when you're uploading a file of your own that isn't already in Remine Docs. So once you check a box of a form you want to bring in, you're going to hit next. and that brings the form right on top here. Okay, that is how you start a transaction and add a package to it in Remine Docs. Have a great day.